What's going on, boys? My name is Sid, and today I have chosen a topic to talk about because we have something most definitely important to talk about, and it is to do with Motorfest, the brand new game coming out from Ubisoft Ivory Tower within the next 6 months, right? Because they said it's this year, and we've only got like 6 months-ish left of the year. But what we don't have a lot left of is testing for the game. So let me talk about a few things. One, when we're gonna see the game next. That I'll get onto in a minute. But before that, the reason we don't have a lot of testing left is because of when we're gonna see about the game next. Because the Crew Motorfest is ending its last phase of testing. I went through the whole article, last video on the Crew Motorfest, and the game now entering the last one, phase 4 of 4. It's only gonna be 9 days long. Yes, on May 31st, they begin the final bit. People have been playing Motorfest for ages now. If you were on the first test phase, you've been playing it since February 1st. But now, in May 31st, we're going to be going into the final test phase, and that ends June 9th. That's 9 days. 9 days of testing. And why is that a bad thing? When we've had 3 whole months of testing up till now, why is only 9 days for the last one a bad thing? I'll tell you why. Because they've only been testing on PC so far. They've been testing the entire game on PC to see how it runs. They've talked about peripherals as well as wheels being updated. Thank you, Alfie MB, for becoming a member. They've talked about new game modes. They've talked about big announcements. They've talked about handling improvements. But one thing they've never gotten onto is console. Every single one of those testing phases being on PC has meant console hasn't gotten a single bit of testing. And until recently, especially on PS5, until recently, well, still so on PS4, the Crew 2 doesn't run very well on console. Not compared to PC. On PC, it's perfectly fine. On console, thank you so much for the gifted SidWaj defect. On console, the game runs pretty bad. I don't know, chat. Have you guys experienced the game struggle on console at all? Until recently, it was a lot. But recently, it's improved. But if the Crew Motorfest, it's going to be a brand new game, and it's only going to get 9 days of testing on console, I'm worried, is what I am. Especially considering, if you didn't know already, the Crew Motorfest is confirmed for PS4 and Xbox One as well. It's not just going to be PS5 and Xbox Series X. It's going to be... Goddamn voice cracks, man. It's going to be on PS4 and Xbox One as well. So there's a big chance this game runs terribly. And there's other worries. Like, is there going to be cross-platform progression? Because if there is, I don't mind if the game runs bad. But if there isn't, I really do mind. What do you boys think? Should the game have been next gen only? Because you run into, it's a give and take, boys. Next gen only, less people get it, right? But next gen only, it's able to be a much better looking game. But then again, from the images we've seen of the Crew Motorfest, people also said that the night looks a lot nicer too, on Twitter as well as the comments. And we've got the 3 Euruses driving about. Very nice looking, right? The reflections look, I wanna say, improved. Especially considering that's not a screen space reflection. The game looks good. Which this right here is a game on PS4, right? So there's 2 things that can happen after the fact, right? After it's gonna be on all gen, there's 2 things that happen. Either the game runs really, really badly on PS4. There's a chance that the game is on old generations, but it just runs terribly. And especially with only 9 days of console testing, right? I'm sure they've tested it in-house, but with only 9 days of mass testing, and if the game is really graphically good, it's gonna run really badly on console. But the other option could be worse. The other option is that it is on PS4 and it just looks terrible, right? They just downgrade the game. The other option is they just downgrade the game for PS4, which, sure, I guess that's probably what they end up doing, right? Because if the game is gonna look any good, it's not gonna be able to look that good on PS4. comparing the Crew 2 PS4 to PC is noticeable. And I imagine we'll see the exact same thing if we compare the Crew Motorfest PS4 to the Crew Motorfest PC. As well as, console can be incredibly unstable. We've had issues on console for a very long time where if you had too many friends on your PlayStation friends list, the game would crash in PvP. The game would crash all the time. You got the 0.1 error. You got so many errors. The game being sluggish. I've done my comparison video comparing PS4 to PS5, and it's atrocious. Here is my video where I compare the two games, and I hear that my PS4 must just be really bad, right? That's what I've heard. But this is me launching the game. I'll play just this clip. I'll play just a few clips in full. Here is me going from clicking the start game button, right? And there. Both games start at the exact same time. I'm still on PS4, it doesn't look that bad. They have made a lot of graphics improvements, thankfully, just in general. They've made a lot of graphics improvements, which is good, obviously. But let me play this at 2x speed, right? But there's a bigger issue that let me get onto. And I'm in, and I freeze there, and now let's wait for PS4. 2x speed. Starting at the same time. Yup. Yup. And now, you actually made it into the menu at the same time. But there's a bigger issue. The bigger issue is that there's a big chance that the Crew Motorfest has cross-platform play. Ubisoft has confirmed cross-platform play for most of their upcoming games. Of course, the Crew 2, older game, doesn't have it. The Crew Motorfest, newer game, there's a big chance there will be cross-platform play. And here's where I see the biggest issue, is that the Crew 2, if the Crew Motorfest is anything like the Crew 2, the physics will be binded to the FPS. And what that causes is stuff like this, where your car is actually slower because you're getting less frames. That sounds made up, but the only difference in this clip that you'll be able to see is 60 FPS on a smooth platform and not 60 and 30 FPS on PS4. You'll be able to see a clear same time nitroing, I believe at the same like road I nitro, or it was either that or the same speed, and it's bad. I get to the wall there, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 4 to 5 second gap. 4 to 5 second gap on a relatively short road compared to a whole race. And the only thing different is the frames. Release it for the 360, you'd actually be going like 2 miles an hour, right? So if there's cross-platform play, it's going to be a big bias for the players on PC because the game's based on FPS for the physics. And that's going to make it terrible. Pay to win? I mean, yeah, technically, you're just not paying the Crew 2. You're paying for an entire platform. I don't have a PS5. Again, not a lot of people are going to have the platforms where you go a lot faster. Would they remove cross-gen, you think? Do you mean, ooh, cross-gen? I don't know. I assume they'd keep cross-gen. Yeah. I assume they'd keep cross-gen because it's all account-based, right? It's just, I hope they have stuff like, well, I want cross-platform play, but I don't know if I want the guilt of playing on PC while some poor sod on PS4 is getting 15 frames in the confirmed on PlayStation Store 32-player lobby, right? How? I hope this is what the testing is for, okay? I really hope this is what the testing is for. How on earth is PS4 gonna handle 32-player lobbies? And that's all I have to say. We're gonna have to see what comes of it. Of course, it's nice that they're testing. I just wish there was more testing, and I'm just really questioning what's gonna come from it. Thank you to popular members, special thanks to famous members, and an insane thank you to star members Danimal, the Manimal, TK Troll, and Grim Pepper, and an insane thank you to Icon members Chim Charming, JB74, Lewis, and Void. I'm gonna keep streaming, but goodbye to all the video viewers. I'll see you boys in a bit.